ho. And Merry Christmas, everybody. Welcome to Gold Fever Radio. What should we do tonight? You know what I think we should do? I think we should start this show off the right way. That's what I think we should do. Hold on. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome everybody. I'm sure glad you guys all tuned in. I got to do something. You know what I got to do? I'm sorry. It says, welcome everybody. Let's see who's. You know what? Hold on. I can't do this anymore, man. I can't do this. Hold on. All I can say is I don't know how. I was just a filler in for Santa. I don't know how in the world anybody could wear this stuff all day long and have screaming kids sitting on their lap. I would go insane. I should have I put it in the trailer. Dang it. Oh well, here. I don't want my hair to be messed up. How's that? Okay, much better. Okay. Man, all right, welcome. There we go. Let's start this show off right. Oh, that made me look orange all of a sudden. How come? Oh, there. Oh, man, that's kind of weird, huh? Maybe it doesn't like the hat. Let's see who's all in joining us tonight in the chat room here. Miners Rule, Paul Mashak, Dennis, Edric, Patty's Adventures, Lisa, Mike Pung is in there too. Look at that. Let's see, Daniel Grubby, Herb, Cato, Trucking Nomad, Richard Billen, David Villa, Trippin' Tommy, Canadian Gold Miner, all the way from Canadian. I'll bet you live up there in Canada. Yeah, that's it. Richard Duke, Wayne Peterson, Nugget Brain himself, Daryl Lane, good old Daryl. Let's see. That was in the last adventure. The last video just posted. Buck Rackley, Karen McAfee, Richard Duque. Okay. Anyways, welcome everybody. What if that makes me look? See, that makes me look. Man, I look orange, don't I? I don't know if that's normal. Have I been out in the sun all day or what? Guy Carl, welcome. Guy Daniel Grubby. Guy sent me this. You know how I always say I'm going to go to hell. Well, now I have an exit visa. It entitles me safe passage through hell. So thank you, Guy, for protecting me so I can get out of hell. All right, today's Wednesday, December the 21st, 2022. Today is now this is for you special people out there. Today is National Short Girl Day Appreciation. So all you dwarfs out there, this is your day. So feel good. It's also National Cookie Exchange Day. That'd be cool to have some cookies, not to exchange, but to eat. See, there's only 11 days left till the end of the year. Can you believe that? 11 days. Then we're going to kiss this year goodbye. New Year's extravaganza. That starts the 28th. Welcome dinner the 27th. There's still time if you want to get in on that. 928-851-7167. That's 5 days of digging and fun. Gold split, all of that type of stuff. The wheel for the prizes is full. We will spin that on Friday, 5 o'clock p.m. Pacific time. So all you guys in on that, thank you. And we'll spin that there. And I'll give something away a little later for the last post of the video. Other than that, that's all I've got. So let's bring our guest in here. I got to change. Santa's not there no more. I better bring my guest in. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas there.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
You know, you make a better Santa than I sure do. I'll tell you that.
Well, I can't take my beard off as fast as you did, though.
No, but I'll tell you what, yours doesn't itch though as bad as this thing. I don't know how people can wear that all day.
I don't know.
Oh,
I guess
that's
it's the poly in the beard that gets you.
you know. Well, it's just the clothing, the polyester. Yeah, man, it
Yeah.
makes me itch. So, Mr. Mike Pung himself, tell us what's happening, buddy.
Oh, geez, we're just preparing for the Arctic blast coming through. I guess it's supposed to. It's only supposed to get down to about 4 degrees, but that's at least that's on the plus side. I remember one time I was up in North Dakota in the Air Force, and with the windshield, it was 120 below zero.
Oh God.
And then I was delivering some support equipment to the alert pad, and inside the pad, I got stuck there because it turned too cold to have anybody outside anymore. So I got stuck at the alert pad, and they had a one of those saunas, and the sauna was turned up to like 180. And so we went from the sauna to outdoors. So I had a 300-degree temperature change, and I lived.
That would be culture shock.
Whew, my God, it just rolled around in the snow, but there was so much heat from the sauna, it felt good. But you got back in before you stuck to the ground.
Oh, yeah. Let's see.
Yeah.
So Canada -6. Wow. So that is. I did see that. I think on what is it, the 30th or something like that. You guys got a bunch of. Yeah, you guys are going to start freezing up there, aren't you?
Yeah, it's been freezing at night the last couple of nights. Right now it's like 40 degrees or something like that. It warmed up just a little bit. I had some pickups at the truck terminals. I had to pick some stuff up. All the Santa's toys. And so got that all taken care of. And tonight, I think at about 3 o'clock in the morning, the temperature's going to start dropping down, and it's going to stay dropped down until a couple days. So it's going to be single digit anyway. I'm not comparing, but your hat's bigger than mine.
I know. I could cover I could pull this all the way down over my head.
Hey, I mean, that's don't tease us. Just do it.
If it didn't have a little cockeyed bow right here, it could just keep on going down, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, twin brothers. All right. Yeah. Ho ho ho.
Yeah, we had different mothers together.
Twin brothers with different mothers.
Yeah. Yeah, too funny.
So is this the time of the year that a lot of children is conceived back in the Midwest?
As soon as it starts, when there's a cold snap, then you also start hearing the other snaps from your clothes coming undone. So yeah, that happens. So hey, I was born in September, so I was late December, early January baby.
Yeah, I know. I guess I was that too. So then, today's the first day of winter too, ain't it? Or solstice or whatever they call it.
The winter solstice.
Yeah.
I guess it's the longest day of the year. I was getting ready to go do something yesterday, and it was like 5:30, and the sun was going down. I said, "Wait a minute, what happened to the day?" So I'm glad the days are going to start getting longer again. That's always good.
Oh, I can't wait till summer. I do not like winters at all.
Well, it's not too bad. I think the best winter I ever had was it was in Hawaii.
Yeah,
I had to tolerate 82-degree weather like every day within a degree or whatever, but it was terrible.
But that's not considered winter, is it?
No, I'd like to try it in Australia. That's what I'd really like to do. and take my metal detector down there and see what kind of good stuff I can get. But yeah, I've been went out to the Lodi show, the Lodi show and the Amra banquet out there beginning of December. I think it's 3rd or 4th or something like that, and saw a lot of good people out there. It's always fun to see everybody. It's like a big reunion, and I try to get all their money.
Well, was it a good show for you?
It wasn't too bad. It was better than I had expected, but none of the shows are as good as I hoped for. But it did pay for the fuel, and the nice thing, the fuel was a little bit cheaper on the way out there. When I was out there in October, it was like $6 a gallon, and I actually found some fuel that was $3.86 a gallon.
Wow!
At some place, so I was shocked. It was like I just felt like burning fuel. I was just I was free. Yeah, and my shuttle bus will burn the fuel.
Oh yeah, I heard that GPA ain't going to have shows this year.
Yeah. I heard that early, and so I started making some phone calls to a lot of the clubs and organizations and tried to get some things scheduled. I've actually got, from what I know for shows, let's see, I printed this really small. It's like, that's the whole year. The next show is that's going to be of any. Let's see, the American Diggers has got one out in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina in January. They've got the International Sportsman's Expo in Sacramento, California. There's a big quartzite to do the 21st to the 29th of January. It's the annual Quartzite Sports Vacation and RV show. So that's January. February, there's going to be Quartzite Golden Treasure Show there, the 10th, 11th, and 12th at the QA Center. That's where I've been going every year for a while there. So that had nothing to do with the GPAA. But it's a good show. If you get a chance, go to that. I think that same weekend, Wickenburg has their Pioneer Days or whatever they call it. But then right the next weekend after that, the 18th and 19th, they've got Monroe, Washington. And so I've got to hightail it, burn some of that fuel, go all the way from Quartzsite up to Monroe, Washington. Yeah, and then, oh gosh, what the heck does that say? I don't even know what that says. I couldn't read it. But then in March, there's a Dixie Deer Classic. And I'm going to have to open up my computer to this thing. I'm not being able to read this. I can see really fine gold. but I'm having trouble reading this real small red writing on blue background. But the Dixie Deer Classic is going to be in Raleigh, North Carolina on the 3rd, 4th, and 5th of March. So that's going to be a yeah. Let's see. I gotta get to my. I guess I can't talk and do stuff at the same time because I get confused.
Oh, I'm sure. You know, I think mine's starting to turn a little white here. If I let it grow longer, I may not have to change anymore either.
No, just. Oh, okay. The one I couldn't read is the Midwest Golden Treasure Show in Lebanon, Indiana. That's going to be in February, the 24th, 25th, and 26th. That's the one I couldn't read. And then Coeur d'Alene is going to be in March. LDMA's got stuff going on all the time. April, there's 15th and 16th is the Kashmir, Washington. And then the 2 weeks after that, this is probably going to be the show of the year. ICMJ and PLP are putting together a show in Grass Valley, California. It's going to be a pretty big show. I don't know if you remember back in the day, ICMJ used to have a training on Friday, and then the show set up, and then Saturday, Sunday was a show, and they did more training on Monday. They used to do that every year, well, I think every other year, but they stopped a while back. But now they're going to follow that same successful plan, floor plan, and put that on, and that's the 28th of April to the 1st of May. So that weekend. So ICMJ, PLP, they're going to get together, and that's in Grass Valley, California. And then LDMA stuff. Let's see what else we got going on. Liberty, Washington. Liberty, Washington is going to be in August 19th and 20th, or 18th, 19th, and 20th. And then the Ohio Buckeyes, they're going to have Gold Rush Day at the Swank Claim in, I moved something I wasn't supposed to. Second and third, so I guess like, what was that, Labor Day in September? But the second and third of September, the Ohio is going to have their thing. And then in October, the first weekend in October, PLP is going to be doing their annual outing in Randsburg, California, and then Dahlonega Gold Rush Days in September, or I'm sorry, October of the 21st and 22nd. But there's a lot of stuff going on. We've got a couple people trying to put the show on in the southern part of Oregon. Then there's going to be a outing connected with the show. We did an outing there last year in Lawson's Bar, and we had a couple hundred people show up for that. So it was pretty successful. Yeah, we even got Fred Hurt, the old Big Boot himself, to show up. So so it was pretty good. We had a lot of fun doing it, and but anybody else that was that would think that they'd like to put on a show or think they need one in their area, there's a lot of people that will help you out. Myself and my running partner, Cash Best, with Golden Sand, we'll help you out. GPAA also said that they would help put on local shows. I don't know what help means. That'll be up to you to contact them to find out exactly what it is they mean by help. But at least you're not going to be alone. If all they do is contact all their members and let everybody know you're having a show, I mean, that in itself is extremely helpful. But yeah, GPAA is not having the shows, so nobody has to worry about what GPAA is doing. So they're going to be able to put on their show without having to worry about schedule conflicts.
Everybody's on their own then.
Yeah, pretty much everybody's on their own, and the more coordinating we can do, the better we can have attendance for the miners, and also have better attendance of vendors, and make it a better show to, all the way around. So, of course, we may get so successful that GPAA is going to want back in.
Well, maybe you could start something new, and you come out here and put together a show here.
There you go. Right now, that one in Quartzsite, the weekend before Valentine's Day, it looks like your pants are on fire there, buddy. You was complaining about being orange.
I know. I was trying to get a light here. I was trying something here. There we go. There. Luke, remember the dark side.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, that was freaky.
Looked like you found your way to hell again.
Wow. Wow. I thought I would just see if I. Oh my gosh. Oh God dang. What's a, oh, I thought I could just maybe try to put a little light on the subject. It might make me so. Somebody said I got war paint on.
Yeah, you went full Trump tanning bed.
Yeah, I was gonna say I look like I got now. I look like I got horns coming out of my eyebrows. Welcome to the dark side. Okay, well that didn't work as I thought it was going to. So.
No, it was distracting though.
I look pretty good when I get way up here, but see when I get back, I start to turn orange.
I tell you what, if you go like back behind that wall back there, you probably look pretty good. Farther, I can still see you.
Hello,
but
Gary.
anyway, yeah. So yeah, we've done a bunch of shows and did a bunch of metal detecting. Everywhere we go, we try to swing a detector, and we're pulling up some of that shiny gold stuff. So it's I guess we're doing something right.
Always. Oh, Cash is in the house.
He's in the house.
Cash A. Best is in the house. Hello, Rick. Yes, he is in the house. Jason, AU Colorado. Yeah. Man,
so
Sean Sparks, all these people have been sneaking in since I wasn't paying attention.
Go to the light, Jack.
Go to the light. All right. Hey, let's talk about some gold, huh?
All right. Well, I got a really cool thing that's going to happen here a little bit. Remember Sacramento Creek in the Hoffmans in Colorado?
Yeah.
I've got an opportunity, besides Gold Cube, I've got the Gyro Bowl at gyrogold.com, the big green bowl.
Yeah.
And so we're actually going to be setting that Gyro Bowl up and rerunning all of the Hoffman's tailings.
Oh, that would be fun.
How fun is that, huh? I'll let you know how it comes out. Yeah, that's going to be that'll be in May, but it takes a while for the rivers to clear out and the ice to melt and all that fun stuff. Right now the water's a little bit hard there. But yeah, we're going to do that, and we got a bunch of other trips. Everywhere that we go this year, we're going to be, or this coming year, we're going to attach gold prospecting in with all the shows. I mean, if you're burning all the fuel to get there, you might as well have fun. You don't just want to have to work all the time.
No, wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah, so we got all that planned, and I posted on my my webpage or on my Facebook page, some of the things that I asked people what they wanted to talk about. One guy in there, since it's a Santa Claus thing, he says, is there gold on the North Pole? Yeah, I guess the answer is it's that pole with a twist on it. That knob on top is made out of gold.
Yeah, if there is, you can't get to it.
No, it's kind of frozen. But what are you looking for now?
I had some of your stickers. I don't know where they were.
Well, there's one on the refrigerator.
I put yeah, on the refrigerator. I put the hat in my vehicle, so I have the hat. Right there.
Yeah, another guy. Cube it or lose it. Yeah, that was fun coming up with that saying in St. Joseph, Missouri. That's the The Pony Express Club was the reason that saying came about. Someone said, move it or lose it. My partner Red says, cube it or lose it. And I says, Red, did you hear what you said? And he goes, what, did I swear? No! You say what we're trying to say. But, so we come up with something that kind of coins phrases, but we came up with another one. When I go to the shows and everything, I'll do lectures and I do my fine gold recovery seminar. And one of the things that I've always said was I talk about the golden rule. And the golden rule is if everything is the same size, gold rules. So basically what that means, if you want the greatest advantage to pulling your gold out of your concentrates, you have to make everything the same size. So what I did,
I got that someplace. I had it here. What'd I do with that?
I don't know. I sent you a bunch of them. Well, this is what they look like.
Oh, I was going to show that. Yeah, I have it.
Okay, so yeah, so the golden rule is basically just a ring with two jars. So you just unscrew them, and once you got it unscrewed, you can take a screen. You put that inside the screen there, inside the ring, and then you just screw the lid back on, and then everything that's in this one on the bottom side, you just turn it over and just shake it, and it goes into the bottom one. All right, so you can do that with all kinds of screens. And I've got 16 different sizes of screens. I've got this one. You see that one's a 4 mesh. And this one right here, that's a 400 mesh.
Wow, that's pretty fine gold.
Yeah. And I've been having a blast with my fiber laser. I don't know if you can read this or not. Let's see. It's hard. Can you read that?
Mesh. Yeah, it says 400 mesh.
Yeah. So that's actually put on with a fiber laser, and that actually anneals the stainless steel, and it actually changes the surface. So it's not adding ink or anything to it. It's actually changing the surface of the stainless steel and turns it black. And then on the other one, see, look at all these screens, just tons and tons and tons.
You got more than I do.
You went cheap. You wanted the you wanted the cleanup pack. Yeah, and then this right here, the gold cube thing on there, that's actually lasered on there as well. So the laser does that. It actually changes. It actually bubbles up and turns the plastic white. So there's nothing to rub off of there. So it's kind of cool. I'm just having fun with that laser. Yeah, it's hard to remember where the camera is, isn't it? But we're doing really well with the golden rule. There's a lot of people that are really getting into it. They've got concentrates that they've had troubles with, and as soon as they classify everything down, then they start doing a lot better, pulling the gold out of there. Because if everything in your pan is the same size, the smallest piece of gold is going to outweigh your largest piece of garbage. So, I mean, that's the basic theory of classification and the golden rule. But
so you could then use this if you've got black sand, gold in your black sand, then, huh?
Absolutely. There's two main uses for this. There's some people that have so much gold they want to make for selling purposes or whatever. They want it all the same size. So you could size your gold. But otherwise, when I do my training, I teach everybody that you go twice the classification size. So that cleanup kit that you have, it's got a 16, a 30, a 50, and a 100 mesh. Okay, and when I'm out in the field and I've got my concentrates either out of dry washing or wet sluicing or high banking or gold cubing or whatever the case may be, I'll take everything through an 1/8 of an inch classifier. Anything bigger than an 1/8 of an inch is going to be a picker or nugget. and that's easy to just pull off of there with a metal detector. So I just use a metal detector to scan all the plus size stuff. And because it's real easy to get the plus size off of the metal detector, and the metal detector is always lighter than a bucket of rocks. So I don't want to bring a bucket of rocks home. So everything that comes home is a number 8.
So then what if you put a screen in there?
Yep.
Then you turn that upside down, and then on this side you put all your black sand and your gold in there. That's a pain in the ass because you can't pan it. And then you shake it all, and no, you don't want to shake it. I think first you want to use a magnet and get all that black sand to come to the top. Then you get all that black sand.
I know you're not going to believe this, but there's instructions in the kit.
That's what these are.
We don't need no stinking instructions.
Instructions? What instructions, senor? Anyway,
so
I did put one of these in the will, the giveaway thing that we're doing. So.
Oh, good deal. Yeah, So the golden rule applies, and so 1/8 of an inch is what I come home from the field with, and then 8. I say no more than 2 times. So 8 times 2 is 16. So you can go as high as a 16, and then 16 times 2 is a 32. But I use a 30 instead because it's not more than 2 times. And then 30 times 2 is 60. Well, I use a 50 because it's not more than 2 times. And then 50 times 2 is 100. And everything 100 minus, unless you start getting real good at it, you need a lot of practice to start going below 100. But the kit also has a 200 mesh and a 400 mesh. So if you get the big kit, $70, and it's got 16 screens in it. And if you get the smaller kit, and Jack's got some on hand there, they're $28, and they've got the 4 basic cleanup sizes that you need to go through your concentrates.
Yeah, okay. I see Thomas Folks made it in there. So Cash says Mike is giving away one tonight.
Oh, is that what he said? Thanks a lot, buddy.
Well, did you tell him that he's giving away one of his sand things also?
Well, he's icky. He's delirious.
Ron,
I tell you what we'll do. Just because of that, I'll give away one of Cash's snipers.
Yeah. Oh, I was thinking about all the golden sand things. A whole kit. Why not? Let's just go big.
Yeah, you'll have to get him on here to do that. I'm not going to do that to him.
Oh.
But I will give away a 16 screen cleanup kit, or the what I call the Pro Pack.
The big one?
The big one. The big one's going to get given away tonight. Somebody on the forum.
Well, I better start writing notes then. Here's Santa. Okay. All right. Okay.
And somebody else on the page asked me, it says, where do you find black sands? Well, it all has to do, black sand and gold is not really made with each other. They just end up together. Okay, so there's a couple of rules with black sand. If the guy wanted me to talk about black sands, a couple of rules with black sands is whatever the size of your black sand is going to kind of be the size of your gold. And you'll end up with sometimes three times the size of black sand is going to be your finest gold. So the chunkier and the more force it took to get the black sands there, the gold's going to move along with it. And so if all you're finding is extremely fine sand, then you're going to find extremely fine gold. That's just one of the rules. And just because you find sand doesn't mean you're going to find the gold. What it means is you found the place that the heavies are dropping out, and that becomes a very good place to prospect or pan do a test run of that area to see if the gold actually made it there. If there's no gold in the area, you'll still find black sand, and it's going to be in your low pressure zones. I when I'm teaching, I tell people, I says, the inside bend of where the water, the inside bend, the water kind of swirls on its way around and it drops out gold. On the other side of a rock, or right on the beginning of the rock where it just kind of hits it and don't know which way to go. Look for places that the gold has to stall out, where it impacts, where low pressure zone where the water just can't push it anymore, so it drops out. Tumble zones where all of a sudden gets deeper. That whole tumble zone as it gets deeper. I mean, those are places that the water changes its power. It changes the velocity, and that's where the gold's going to drop out. So I tell people, when you get into a river, or even an arroyo, if the water was running, you can kind of envision where all these spots are. Where are you going to cast your lure? You're going to go to where a fish has the opportunity to take a break, behind the rock, a shallow spot that's just barely moving, and the rest of the water's raging. You're going to look for the places that a lazy fish is going to hang out. So I tell people, think like a lazy fish, and you'll get gold.
Or where the water is not moving, where it's more.
Right. Yeah, the first opportunity that water has to allow the gold to drop out. If it tries to change direction because it's running into something, or if it all of a sudden opens up from 2 feet wide and now it's 6 feet wide, the velocity of the water had to spread out and slow down. Okay, so all the places that the water starts to slow down, that's where you start your look for the gold. And that's usually where the fish are too, because that's where the smaller bait and all that other stuff is. That's where the good stuff is to eat. So think like a lazy fish or a hungry fish, and that's where the gold's going to be. So people just getting into mining and prospecting, they've probably done fishing a lot longer than they ever have gold. So if you just kind of associate it with something that they can understand, then they'll be a lot more successful, a lot faster, and they'll start realizing where the gold's supposed to be. But the black sands are a great indicator that you're in the right spot. I've taken metal detectors. The cheaper the metal detector, the better. I've taken metal detectors into a river, and I find the streaks of black sand. I find out where there's just long runs of black sand, and you can just take and mark them with sticks, or just kind of remember where your detector is kind of going crazy because it's so cheap. But that creates a path in the water, or it'll create a path where the water isn't anymore in an arroyo or a wash or something like that in the desert. But you can track the black sands, and then if you take half of the black sands and then half again into where the water, when it was there, was moving faster, you can leave the half that's up the bank alone and just work the half below and into the deeper area, and that's the hot spot. That's where the gold had the opportunity to move the hardest until the water finally lost interest in it. Okay, so you can use your metal detector not to find really fine gold, but you can find where the fine gold is setting out, because the black sands are going to give you those indicators. It's going to give you the indication of where, if there's gold there, where that gold's going to lay out. So black sands are a great indicator. So
some detectors actually have that black sand feature on them that you can follow the higher the number, so you're looking for the black sands.
Right, a mineralization setting.
I see that Big Texas Prospecting. I guess they got some big ass gold down there in Texas.
Yeah, in the pawn shops.
Yeah, Roland Saxton Prospecting and Exploring Arizona. One thing about Texas, no, we don't want to get into that. Never mind. Hello.
Yeah.
Anything I say, I'm just going to get in trouble. Mike, when are you going to write that book on the nuts and bolts on gold prospecting?
Oh gosh, I'd even buy that. That's a good question. While I'm driving and going to all these shows, maybe I should just get a little microphone and recorder and just dictate some stuff, and then
Yeah.
put it together or something like that.
Yeah.
My kids are on me to write a book on stuff, and oh my God, some of the adventures from massive breakdowns to getting into a place I shouldn't have been in the first place and dumping all the hydraulic fluid out of my transmission to catching the last limb before I went over a waterfall. I mean, there's so many stories I could tell from our times on the road. It would be a great book.
Yes. So yes, you should then. Everybody should have their own memoirs published.
Cash says if I'm going to be dictating to the to a recorder, he says I need earplugs and good ones.
I will need earplugs. Well, Cash said something. What's this he said earlier? He said, and a quick sniper.
So, did Cash said that he's going to do a quick sniper?
That's what he said. He says I can't be held responsible for what Jack says, and then he says, and a quick sniper. So does that mean he's giving away a quick sniper then?
Hey, that's the way I'm taking it. If that's what he said, I'm not going to go back and find it.
Well, it's right here.
He says yes. Yeah, okay. I tell you, yeah, he said yes. I've got a video that I made when I was out with Cash on the Yuba River. We had his golden sand, and it was amazing. It's an amazing video. I should post it someplace. But we made a video. There was a little triangular hole in the rock. If you had a 5-gallon bucket of dirt, you probably could have thrown it in there and filled it all up. So it's not massive, but it's not totally small either. But it was 6-7 feet above the water line, but you could tell that water had been there before, like spring runoff and stuff like that. So we were just up in the upper crevices and cracks and pulling material out. Well, I pulled some pretty good material out of that particular crack, or that cavity, that hole. And I got it as clean as I could, and I got 4 or 5 pieces of gold out of it. And they weren't too bad pieces. So we pulled Cash's golden sand and filled the hole with water because it tipped back just a little bit. And then I put the bucket of golden sand above the hole, so when I pump out of the hole, it would overflow the bucket and run down the wall and right back into the hole again. Okay, so we're basically recirculating. So I ended up cleaning the bottom of that hole out, and we pulled a couple of pickers and probably about 30 or 40 other small pieces of gold out of there that I couldn't get by hand. So, I mean, it's an amazing video, and I mean, it's only like a 2-minute and 30-second video. I mean, it works quick, but it was an amazing day doing that with the golden sand, and then the little quick sniper, you can completely submerge that underwater. Remember, I just made mention of getting stuck in a place we shouldn't have been with all the transmission puked out of our transmission. The last day before we got rescued, we were hot and tired, and we did some sniping. And I'm telling you what, that little sniper is an amazing little device. It is, it's built solid. It sucks. But yeah, it's a great little tool, and it's a good one to have in your arsenal. I mean, you could pack it in a backpack and everything, but if you're going to get serious with it, that golden sand is the way to go. One of the things that a lot of people make mistakes when they're out in the wild is they'll get in there and they'll shovel and shovel and shovel and shovel, and then they can't get any more material, so they quit. They're done. They run everything through the sluice box. They get some gold. They're happy. They go home. Well, everything that fell off their shovel that they can't get, it's the heavy stuff. It's at the bottom of the hole. So if you take a suction device like the golden sand and just clean up the bedrock, clean up all the offall. You're going to end up with 2 times the amount of gold in most cases, because the gold has been sitting down low, and if you can't get it with a shovel, you're just going to leave it behind. Nah, golden sand to the rescue.
No, you know, I remember years and years, a long time ago up there in South Carolina, that camp up there, they had a lot of the rules where you can't sloosh and you can't, do anything in that creek, but basically pan. But there was allowed to use that golden sand in that creek. And I had one of them and using that up there, and it turned out pretty good. I mean, everybody loved that thing up there.
Yeah, I mean, your best stuff is going to be at the bottom, and it's why we dig. The big stuff is on bedrock. And if you can't pick it up with a shovel, you're just going to leave it behind for someone else, unless you've got like the golden sand that you can actually process that stuff off of there and take it back to your sluice box or gold cube or whatever. But yeah, I mean, it just makes sense. It was total sense. I mean, people that don't clean up the bedrock don't like gold.
Well, I was going to say, so it's kind of like the backpack, but only for the water to clean up those places.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's exactly what we do when we're dry washing. We take the backpack, and it's a blower, but we turn it into a vacuum, and we suck up all that material off the bedrock, because that's where the gold's ending up. I mean, you'd be, I hate using the word remiss, but we'd be remiss if we if we didn't clean up our mess. We're doing it for the ecology.
Yeah. So Buck says, last time you mentioned about a new pick.
Yeah. I don't have any pictures of it, but we've got 3 different picks now. We've got one that's we call it the Sidewinder, and that was our newest pick. The Sidewinder is 19 inches long. I'm trying to get the price on that. It's a $50 pick, and so it's a $50 pick, $49.95 or whatever. The big pick, the 36-inch pick, that's the one that you always see Jack carrying around. That big one there is 110, and then we've got our small crevicing pick, and the little crevicing pick is solid steel. It's handle, everything's made out of steel, and it goes for $25. So we've got the 3 sizes of picks. The big pick has got a magnet in the head. The Sidewinder's got a magnet in the handle, and the crevicing pick doesn't have a magnet. You can stick one to it if it's important to you. But yeah, so we got those 3 picks on the website, goldcube.net. If you put .com, they're going to be talking about money boxes or something like that. But they wouldn't let us have .com. But so .net, goldcube.net, and they got pictures of the picks on there, measurements and everything, so you can see how big they are. And they got hickory handles. The big guy, we call it the pick. That's the name of it. The pick. So that's the one that I always use. And we were up in Arizona, up there by your claims up there, Jack, up by the Tuts, and we got down into some caliche, and that big pick just chewed through that stuff. I was impressed. So it's got some major swing to it. You got to be serious to use the big pick. And I was serious. You get a big detector, you got to make big holes. If you're going to make big holes, get it over with and get a big pick.
It does have, it is a big ass pick. I was looking to see, I see Craig Carter, T-Rep Adventures. You know what's funny? Talking about websites, if you type in, I wondered who this website, if somebody had this website, gotohell.com. So I typed in gotohell.com, and you know what it does?
What's that?
It takes you to Ozzy Osbourne's Facebook page.
Nice.
Hey, I wanted to ask you a question, but first, look what I got in.
The Axiom.
Oh,
I've talked to some people. They're pretty pleased with it. I've watched a couple of videos, comparison with the Axiom and the 7000, and the 7000 can still outreach it, but
without a doubt. I'm
yeah,
thinking comparing it more to this. I'm thinking that it may be a cross between the 6000 and the Gold Monster, both because it's got that iron discrimination on it too.
yeah,
So
yeah,
how you like to carry two machines, one to locate, and then the other one kind of will tell you if it's gold or not.
right, right.
Uh, so that can handle both of those. I'm going to be testing that this weekend. I know that. So
Oh, cool.
yeah,
Yeah, let me know how that works out.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'll do that. Anyway, so we talked earlier about how to locate gold deposits in the water when it's wet and different like that. But when it's dry, like Arizona and different other places that you're going in, and you got some of your like washes or hillsides or mountains, how would you locate gold deposits in the washes, or how are you going to start looking where to try to find gold deposits when you're in the hills?
Well, y the best thing to do first is figure out, with a little bit of research and a little bit of history on the stuff, or talking to some of the old timers, figure out how did the gold get there in the first place. All right, was it an exploding volcano? Did it used to be an old river area? Was it a seabed? Was it a geothermal geyser? Was it? How did the gold get there? I mean, you figure that out first, because that's going to make a lot of sense. Um, because there are some places that the only place that you find gold is up on the hills, and you don't find it down in the little valleys. And the reason being is because it hasn't made it that far yet. It started on top of the hills. It was like a volcano blew up and just spread it all over the place. So you find that around the Gold Basin and around the Meadview area, that a lot of that's been exploded in place there because of that event. So you got to figure out first, what is the event that created the gold. And some of the geothermal events, they'll use limestone as a filter, and you'll never actually see the gold. You actually got to leach it out, like what they do up in Nevada. So understanding the event, that's your first step, and then you can start looking at some of the signs that where's everybody else working. If nobody's worked that area, you're either first or there's no gold there. you know. So use those signs. Figure out exactly why the gold is there, and then figure out, because of knowing why it's there, where you're going to look first. So what I'll do is I'll go through and I'll check the arroyos, the very bottom. Like, if water is flowing, there's going to be low pressure zone. There's going to be rocks. There's going to be obstructions. There's going to be crevices. There's going to be things that are going to be natural traps if water is pushing the gold. So you have to imagine the water running. And if you get into an area and someone says, "Oh, we get all kinds of gold here," and you go in the bottom in the arroyos and you're not finding anything, well, that's because it's probably up on the hills, and it could be right up on top. I've gone into places that people say that there's plenty of gold there. You go down in the bottom, where if the water was running, that's where it would be. You find nothing, but then you go up on the top of the hill, and I found a sunbaker. I mean, it was just sticking out. So it was like, it's crazy because the wind had blown the dirt away from that nugget. So they call them sunbakers. But understanding why it's there in the first place, and then taking that as your initial knowledge of what you're going to do when you get there. I always like to look at the area with Google Maps or Google Earth, because you can go back in time on Google Earth and you can see anything that's changed, like for the last 40 years. You can see if anything has moved. Maybe an arroyo was created just recently because of a flash flood or something. Those are the types of things you can look at with Google Earth Pro. Google Maps will give you a layout. Make a plan before you get there of what you're going to do. The first thing, figure out why the gold is there. And the second thing is, because of why it's there, where would the best possible places be, looking at it from, I call it, the buzzard view from above, the satellite pictures. Once you got those plans and you get your boots on the ground, then start testing your theories. See if you can find that gold. And then when you get down there, you'll start seeing where people have been in the past, because you're not going to be the first one there. And if there other people have been there in the past, that's actually a really good sign, because they put work into it because it paid off. There's got to be gold there, and now you just have to be better than they are, or work a little harder than they did, or whatever. But look for signs that people have worked it. If they're working mostly on the sides, then that's where the gold is. If nobody's working in the ditches or the low spots, well, don't get trapped in thinking it's going to be like a river in Colorado. Or a main arroyos. I mean, I've picked up some really good gold in some of the arroyos in the Payson Rye area. But when you get down to quartzite, the low spots don't carry a lot of gold. So it's just a question of figuring all that stuff out. How the gold got there in the first place, and look for where other people have been working to give you clues on where you should spend your effort.
It's funny, you just said an area, the best place I found gold in Arizona that I found, I mean, back in the days when this was early 90s, kind of when I was first got involved, I used to go to this area. It was a club called Mesa Gold Diggers, had some claims, and I used to go there, and we used to just shovel in to a classifier that was a 1/4 inch classifier, and shake that, and then dump what's in that classifier into another bucket. That's what we kept. And once then we filled that bucket, we would take it and pan that out. And that I found we found quartz specimens and big chunks. That's all we were after, until, later on started dry washing and that. But in the beginning, that was up there in Rye. Just below that, you got the midget and you got the Oxbow Wash. That Oxbow Wash is full of gold. I mean, I could not believe the amount of gold in there.
Yeah, when I was in Rye working there, I was like, you get into Rye and then you go pretty much straight north from there into the gold fields. But I tell everybody about, when you get to a new place, spend 10% of your time just looking for gold. You have to prospect. You have to look. You don't just say this is where the gold should be and start working, unless you're counting it like a gym membership, because you're just going to get tired. You have to prospect, and I like taking at least 10% of my time just looking for gold and figuring out where it is. My very first pan, when I got invited on the claim to in Rye there, my very first pan, I got 4 pieces of gold. Some people would panic. They were like, "Holy crap! Get the dump truck, dump everything, dump all their stuff out and get to work." But I just decided that I'm one for making rules, I guess. But I take 10% of my time looking, and I found some places there's no gold. I found some places that I had 10, 15 pieces in a pan, 20 pieces in a pan. I was getting a little far away from the camp, and I found a place that had 60 pieces in a pan. And I was like, "Holy crap!" I said, "Oh, my time's not done yet." So I started back, and I went downriver instead of up. And it really wasn't a river; it was kind of like a snow melt. So there wasn't hardly anything there. In a week, it was going to be dry. But so I went downstream from there, downhill, and I found a place that actually had 200 pieces in one pan.
Wow.
In 4 hours, we got an ounce and 3/4, and I would not have found that if I would have just been happy with that 4 pieces of gold. I probably would have went home with some gold and say, hey, look, I got some gold. But I wouldn't have the holy crap, look at the gold I got, you know. But you got to keep looking, and if you're going to be out there for a while, you also have to make sure that once you've played out a place, because it took us about 4.5 hours to play out that spot that had like 200 pieces in a pan. Once you play out a spot, I found 2 other pieces or places that had like 60 pieces in a pan. So I could either just move straight to them, or I could look again and see if I can find another really good spot. Well, I did look again. I didn't find any place better than 60. So that afternoon we got to work on the 60. So we did really well. But you have to prospect. You have to look for the gold. And taking everything that people that were saying about the area, looking where other people were digging, it was not in the bottom of the low spot. It was on the side banks. It was up on the side benches, and that's where the gold was. So you got to pay attention to that stuff. Success leaves tracks. Failure leaves tracks. Just make sure you're on the right track.
That same area, I remember one time walking up the wash, and I saw this big hole, and I'm thinking, they must be finding good gold in this hole. And so I got down there and I filled like 20 buckets of dirt home and hauled them all the way home. I didn't find any gold. So I came to the conclusion the hole keeps getting bigger and bigger. Nobody's
because
finding
people like
gold.
You.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to test it. Most of the time, people test either bring water, or you need to learn how to dry pan. Dry panning is not very accurate. You're going to lose gold. But if you dry pan and lose half of your gold, and you got 5 pieces in your pan, and you go someplace else and lose half of your gold, and you got 15 pieces in your pan, you know what area is better, and that's where you got to work. So all you're doing when you're prospecting is you're answering 2 questions. Number 1, is there gold here? And number 2, is it any better than the last place I checked? Okay, it's not about retention. It's not about saving those pieces. You can if you want to. I mean, I usually bring a bucket instead of poking at it with a snuffer bottle. I just throw it into a bucket, and then when I get whatever I'm using set up, then I'll just throw it into the setup. But when you're prospecting, you're just looking for gold. You're looking to where am I going to set up my equipment, or where am I going to fill my buckets to take home, or whatever you planned on doing that day.
Well, that's why they call it, when you're looking for gold, you're a prospector. Then once you find the gold, you become a miner.
Well, not even find it. If you start setting up if you set up to get the gold, then you're a miner. Okay, so all miners are prospectors, but not all prospectors are miners. If all you're doing is looking, then you never get out of the prospector stage. If you've taken a couple of samples and you're not setting up to actually move some dirt, then you're still prospecting. You're just still answering the question as if it's any better gold here than the last place. So you're never gonna. I mean, you can cross over into being a miner pretty quick. So like, Jezebel, go get the gold cube. We're setting up.
Yeah.
So now you're mining.
Well, it's like the old timers. They would get in a wash and test it, and if they found gold, they would follow generally up to its source. So
Right.
it could be in the wash, and then eventually, I mean, gold doesn't come from the washes; it comes from hillsides and works its way down into the wash. So eventually, they're going to go up, and then they're going to get out of that wash and start to locate where that gold is coming from. Now, where you were at, where you found those nuggets out here, in that wash is full of gold. I've seen some nice little pickers come out of there, But when you follow that wash up, eventually it runs out of gold. There's no more gold. But yet you go up the side of that hill. I mean, that one rock I had over 18 grams of gold in it. So all of that, and I know this another guy, I bet you he's pulled a pound of gold off that hillside. How did the old timers miss all of that gold?
All has to do with equipment and time.
They didn't have detectors back then.
Exactly. Yeah. So they did the best they could. They went by mostly surface signs, and if the surface signs are good enough, they dig a test hole. You've seen a lot of test holes up there.
Right.
So, and when they're digging test holes like that, what does that tell you? That sources are up the hill. When you're finding that gold down in the in that arroyos, like where I was, where I told you where I found that gold that I was detecting.
Yeah.
There are actually two different types of gold. One of the golds looked pretty weather worn, traveled well, and the other one was extremely flat, still had caliche attached to it, sharp, jagged, just nasty, ugly gold. So we knew for sure that source wasn't too far away, and we were right by about 500 feet. right up the hill. So there's two things when you're trying to chase a source. You gotta look at two things: the size of the gold and shape, but you also look for changes. So, like, let's say we're going up the arroyos and we're finding gold, and just like where I found some really rough, ragged stuff, and then some nice, round, smooth stuff. So we know the round, smooth stuff actually has traveled quite a ways, and that rough, sharp, jaggedy stuff had rocks attached to it. That didn't come from very far. So when you're going up a creek and all of a sudden, all of that rough stuff stops, and the only thing you got left is that smooth gold, then you know that the original, was that a shooting star?
This is like what you were finding up there.
Yeah, just rough, jagged in the rock, just real close to the source. But that real smooth stuff, that stuff that was weather worn and everything, that came from much farther away, so much higher up in the hill. And it could have been a completely separate episode of deposit. So knowing that there were two types or two shapes of gold, and one of them all of a sudden quits, you know that right up the hill from that point there is going to be the source. And so then you start focusing up the hills rather than in the valley anymore. But then when you've got that one located and did everything you want there, then you also know that there's still a second source farther up the hill that you could also chase down to add to your list of places that you need to mine. I was going to say exploit, but that's pretty rude.
Hey, you know what? Let's take a quick break so I can play this ad or this commercial here. And if you got to run away for a sec, you can run away, and then we'll come back.
I need water.
There we go. So let's take a break, and then we'll be right back. Hang with us. All right, we'll be right back, folks.
ICMJ's Prospecting and Mining Journal is the only monthly gold prospecting magazine published in the United States and is the most comprehensive and respected magazine about gold prospecting on the market today. With readers in all 50 states, it features articles on detecting, high banking, dredging, small-scale operations, assaying, basic geology, how to read the land, regulations, and more. Our monthly Ask the Experts column is answered by true experts. It features answers to readers' questions on processing, detecting, geology, and any other questions you may have related to finding and recovering gold and other precious metals. The Mining Journal features the most extensive selection of equipment, mining properties, services, and more, and a classified section featuring over 20 times more new and used items than the nearest competitor. The Mining Journal has been in continuous publication since 1931. A full 12 issues is available for just $27.95, and discounts are available for 2- and 3-year subscriptions. And an online subscription gives you access to over 3,000 articles going back nearly 20 years. Our purpose is to teach you how to find more gold. ICMJ's Prospecting and Mining Journal is the tool you need to succeed. It's time to raise your gold prospecting knowledge to the next level with ICMJ's Prospecting and Mining Journal. Give us a call at 831-479-1500 or visit www.icmj.com. That's www.icmj.com.
All right, perfect timing. Look at that there. Well, welcome back. It's cold in here for some reason. I don't know why. People were talking about, this detectors with the Axiom and 6000 and all of that. Now, up there in Meadview, that's where I'm going to test this at. And what I have noticed on the 6000 is that it's, like most detectors, you have that constant hum on your threshold. It's just a real constant. The 6000 is not constant, whether it's very sensitive to EMI, but it's very kind of chattery. And so a lot of times I'll think, was that a target? Was that a target? And so I've like constantly going back and forth over the targets to see if that was or wasn't. So I'm looking forward to see if that Axiom is more smoother in its tones. And since I've been over that area, I shouldn't say hundreds, but I found over 100 pieces of gold out there. And one area that I've raked down and tested several times, I'll run that over there to see what it will do. And I've also dug down 6 to 8 inches and pulled out a hot rock, an iron rock. So I'm looking to see if what that Axiom will do on those hot rocks. So those are my 2 main tests. Now it's half the price of a 6000, or it's cheaper than a 6000.
Right,
so
right.
It might not be as good as a 6000, but somebody that wants a detector of that caliber that's a lot less, money wise, and can do almost as good. Those are the tests that I'm going to put it through. I don't think it's good as a 7000 because nothing's going to beat that depth of that 7000. And you can
it'll make it dig a hell of a hole.
lift your arms up like this, Mike. You can always tell people that wear 7,000s because one arm is bigger than the other one.
Can't outlaw these guns.
Man, it's cold in here. I need my heater on. You're the only one I know that can carry the 7,000 in one hand and a gold monster in the other hand.
Well, and the reason I do that, there's a couple of things that'll happen. Number one, you get a nice target with a 7,000, and I don't want to keep digging huge holes,
Yeah.
So I use the monster as an analyzer. If I can reach it with the monster, then I know it's not 20 inches, 100 inches deep. So I immediately can say, all right, it's closer to the surface. So that's my very first thing I'm going to do. And then I'm going to see if I can get a repeatable ferrous or non-ferrous signal back on it. If it pops ferrous, non-ferrous and goes back and forth, I'm digging it. And I won't be satisfied until generally I've moved the target. As soon as I move the target and that halo is completely interrupted, then if it's ferrous, it's going to stay ferrous. If it's non-ferrous like gold, it's going to stay non-ferrous like gold. Okay, so you'll be able to do that. The other thing that the detector will do is tell me if it's a hot rock or not. Because if I'm picking it up with the 7,000 and it's sounding really good, there's some green rocks and some black rocks out there that they just sound good.
Yeah.
And so when I hit it with this monster, the 1,000, You know, like if you've got a target and your coil's coming across and it beeps right in the middle of the coil, and then you come off and it beeps right in the middle of the coil and comes off, then it's an object. It is a thing of metal of some sort. But when you're coming across it and you're all the way across and all the way, and all of a sudden you're leaving that area and it goes doo, it like ricochets, and then come all the way across and it leaves and it goes doo. If it's ricocheting like that, then I know it's a hot rock. It cannot be gold. And all I got to do is either kick it aside, hit it with a pick once to get it out of the way if it's, you know, below the surface. The 7,000 won't pick up a hot rock very deep. The 6,000 will pick up a hot rock deeper than the 7,000. It's because the sensitivity to smaller gold has been turned up so high, it makes it vulnerable to the hot rock conundrum. But so then the other thing that I do when I know I've got a good target, like I just dug a 2.7 gram the other day, and I couldn't reach it with the 1,000 until I knocked about 10 inches off, and then I could reach it. But when I've got the 7,000, if that's all I've got, then I've got to dig a hole big enough to put the 7,000 in.
Yeah.
You know, so when I'm swinging the 1,000 with it, then it takes a little more effort. But hey, you know, my holes are the size of coffee cans, not the size of trash cans.
Yeah.
So I can a little more effort in carrying machines, but a lot less effort digging holes. And if you're in a big garbage area, your first couple of times through, you just go through real fast and pick up garbage, and then you turn your sensitivity up and go deep. But that monster is going to make sure that you're right on target, that you're going down exactly where you belong, and you're not moving any more dirt than you absolutely have to.
Right. And in certain areas, like, I mean, you try to use that gold monster up there in Meadview, it's constantly going off.
Oh, yeah,
But
yeah.
like you were saying, I mean, on your targets, like I've looked at it, is it going into the target or is it coming away from the target? Your sound, if it comes away from the target then it's generally a hot rock. Yeah. If it goes into the target, then it's ferrous.
It's almost like the power charges the rock, and it can't make a sound until it's finally charged up. Because then it sounds like a ricochet, because it's like coming off the target, just like you said. So it's leaving the target, and then it goes doo, and it goes the other way doo. So it's more of a ricochet than an actual beep.
Hey, I wanted to give something away here, Mike. I don't have nothing really cool to give away.
Well, you do too. You got the golden rule to give away.
Okay, do you want to do that? See, generally what I do is, so I posted a video last Saturday. And then what I do is I ask a question from that video, and the first one that answers that, I give them a prize. So they're kind of rewarded for watching the video.
Watching your video.
If you want to do it that way, or do you?
I don't care. Whatever works for your show. That's fine.
Okay, let's do that then. Okay, so this is for one of those smaller. Is that right? The 3 thing.
The 4 screens.
Yeah.
No, this is for a 16 screen.
Wow, this is big money, guys.
This is big money.
This is big money. I couldn't even afford that one myself, and I had to go with the smaller one. Okay, this is the question. The first one in the chat room that gets this right then will get that large thing on the golden rule. Okay. All right, here's the question. What was the surface ground temperature? What was the surface ground temperature? The first correct answer in the chat room.
Could you fry eggs?
No. Let's see. We got 32. We got 40. Paul got it. Right there it is. Man. 41. Paul Mishak. That is correct. Paul got it. Paul got it. Done. And look at all these answers. 40. You guys are close at 40. but I said it was 41. So
41 and done.
Now they're just guessing numbers. Okay,
Yeah.
Paul, make sure. Yes, even Cash guessed a number. You guys. So see, that tells me who saw the video. I know that was a little trickier one, but anyway, Paul, make sure you send me your address there, because I don't keep any addresses. So, but anyways, all right, thanks, guys. No, we went out in the desert and we found, it was really weird. It was the size of a coffee can, a hole, and the guys that showed it to me, they stuck this 5-foot stick down it like a clay marker, and it went past that. So then we went back out and did a bunch of testing, ran a tape measure down there. It was 8 feet. It's encased in pipe.
Wow.
It's next to a wash. And then it used to have a lid, like from the coffee can, the lid would open up, but the lid broke off, but it was laying close by it. So then I took a thermal imaging camera and I shined it down in there to see what the temperature down in there said 70, like 75 or something. But on the surface right there, it was 41. We don't know what it is. I'm going to put a snake camera down there. But anyways, it was just a weird, out in the middle of no place, in the desert, you know?
Huh. You think maybe it was a test hole, or maybe a starting casing to try to see if they could find water, or who knows?
That's what, I think it had something to do with water, just because of the fact of it was in pipe. You know, so if it's 8 feet down and it's encased in pipe, I mean, did they, you know, the ground around it was disturbed. So maybe they dug it down, then put the pipe in, then filled that all back in. Or somebody, I mean, some people think maybe it's an air shaft because the thing was covered. I mean, it wasn't like a well. It had, the lid was opened and closed on it.
Yeah.
So maybe it's an air shaft to someplace else.
Well, they probably wanted to make sure that Jimmy Hoffa could breathe.
Oh, and then in about 100 feet from that, there was this old rock. It's probably about 12 inches tall, and it had like W something in one corner, and S something in another corner, and then it had the quarter marker, a quarter. And what was doing there?
Yeah, west-south mark.
Yeah, but when you look at it with your topo map, it's like there's not a quarter marker. So why is that? It's on a line, but it's not on a quarter. It's at a halfway mark. So I don't understand what that is doing there. Unless
well, maybe there are tunnels under there, and that's just marking an area for if it was a collapse, that might be a place to gain access to save the miners or something.
Also, Craig says, see how I remember it was low 40s, but that's it. Craig says, look like an air shaft to an underground cache. Anyways, it's definitely a mystery, whatever it is. So, and then there's these two great big things that were found together. They're really heavy. I mean, they got handles on them. They're solid metal. Well, it's not solid, but it's solid on top, and then it's got like holes around it, big holes going around it, and then a hole at the bottom. So like maybe they twisted onto something, and it was like water would come in the holes to go down or something. I think that whole area had something to do with water.
Yeah. If it was something like that up in Nome, I would say it'd have something to do with steam for permafrost or something like that, but not down there.
Yeah, and they were just in a wash. So they didn't go no place. But miners used to hide their stash in buried pipes, pull it up with a string. Oh, Cash says, I never thought of that. Because it's flush with the ground. And they did have the lid over the top of that. So anyway, I got a snake camera that we're going to run down in there and see if it goes any place or what it's like down there. John says a township marker. That's what I first thought it was, but it's not. Generally the township markers were put in like 1928, and they are brass. They're brass section markers.
Brass plates,
Yeah, and they'll tell you what they are, and those were put in, like I say. So this one was probably done. The can dumps around there tell me it's around the 60s. So I'm going to think that, anyways, it's a mystery. But anyways, anybody can watch that last video that's up there if they're interested in seeing some weird stuff. All right. That's pretty cool. Well, hey, thanks for giving that away, Mike.
Hey, you're welcome. Maybe we can get approval from Cash to give away one of those snipers.
Yeah, well, he already said he was. So,
Well, hey.
what we got to do is figure out how we're going to give it away, Cash. Since you're giving it away, why don't you come up with a suggestion? Or just tell Mike. Mike, come up with a question.
Let's see. Of all the shows that I talked about in the beginning of the show, which show did I say was going to be the show of the year?
Oh, that's a good one. Oh, yes, that's a good one. I know that one. First one in the chat room. First one in the chat room. Oh, yeah, that is a good one. That is a very good one. Very, very good.
Well, I got. Remember, I was talking about that that video that I made for Cash, and Cash and I were together, and
yeah. Okay, so here somebody. Paul got that too. IMCJ. Is that correct?
No.
No. Okay. A European or African.
Josh Cooper got it right.
PLPICMJ.
PLPICMJ. Yeah.
Yeah, not just IMCJ. Yes. Paul, you were up the right. You heard the question right. You just didn't get the PLPICMJ.
You had Flips Lexia.
The ICMJ show the end of April in Grass Valley. Okay. Yeah, you guys are paid attention, but so then the one that's going to give it to is Josh, I guess. Cash said W. What does W mean, Cash?
Winner.
Oh. Let's see. QZ is in February. What are you saying, Cash?
Well, he's just telling you all the shows. The Quartzite's in February. That's the weekend right before.
Yeah, the other one where he said W.
Maybe he was just indicating that Josh won. Who knows?
Well, the W.
Well, that was before that, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to see. Josh, email me your address. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, the best thing to do is try not to figure out Cash.
That's probably true. Hey, did you see these cool stickers I got, Mike?
What you got? Oh, cool. Yeah, hold it up there again. It went.
Look at those cool T-shirts.
Nice. Hey, I put a link in the. The chat room for that video that I was talking about using the golden sand on those rocks.
Yeah.
So I put that link on there. There you go. Gold Fever Adventures. Yay.
Where? I didn't see it.
It's close up there. I just put. It starts out with HTTP. It's not live. It's not a live link. You'll just have to copy and paste it.
No, I know, but I didn't see where the link was.
It's in the chat room.
How come I'm not seeing it? Maybe I've got a time delay going on here.
It's hard to say. It's your show.
Well, I was going to go see if I could find it.
Yeah.
And then
but anyway, it's a cool video. It shows one of the capabilities of the golden sand in the bucket, and using recirculating water to really tear into a hole and get that gold out of the bottom.
People don't see it. You got to hit enter when you put it in.
It's on there. I'm watching it. It was let's see. Josh Cooper said PLP ICMJ. Cash says LOL. I know. And then the next one right after that is the video.
Everybody's saying, I don't see it. I don't see it either. Cash says I don't see it either.
Okay, let me try it again.
Maybe it doesn't like it.
Maybe it doesn't like links. Okay, I just put it in there. Well, I guess another way you could go to it is just go to YouTube, and where it says, like up there in the link, it says watch. This is the video number. That's the video number. You just put that in place of the video equals.
What's the number?
Can you see the number on there? NG5MD3.
No. Okay, what's it called? Golden Sands?
It's not. Yeah, let me see here.
I'm trying to find it on YouTube here now.
It's not public. Let me.
It's not a public video.
Let me. Let's see what we got here.
Oh, there it is. And NG, there it is. Cash posted it right there. NG5MD3-LRA. Okay.
Yeah. So if you just put that in to the video name, it'll come right up.
Okay. Let me write.
Because I've got it private right now. It's I need to make it public, but I don't know how to do that right now.
LRAA. Okay. I wanted to see if I can get this thing to pull up here. You said you can just type this in. So NG.
Yeah, capital NG5, capital MD3.
MD3
dash capital L, capital R, small a, capital A.
Large A. Let's see if this what comes up here. I get review, load washer. I am shocked. Supreme Air. Nope, I'm not getting it coming up with that.
Huh.
Probably because it's private then. Nothing's coming up.
Interesting.
NG5MD3-LRAA. Yeah, nothing's coming up. Doesn't come up.
Okay, well,
Greg says it's private. I don't believe it will be visible to us. Not if it's private.
Well, I don't think it's private. I think it's just unpublished or it's just not listed. It's unlisted.
Yeah, but if you send a link to those people, they still should be able to see it.
Okay, I am sending a link to your email.
Okay, to my email. Okay, let me go to my email. Because I was going to go pull it up and see if I can't get it to come up on the thing here. Let's see, inbox. Okay,
you see it there?
No, it hasn't come through yet.
Okay.
It hasn't come through. Oops, sorry about that. Let's see. Nope, still hasn't come through yet. Oh yeah, there it is. Oh, that's live on YouTube. Okay. Oh no, that's my link. No, never mind. That's my link saying that I'm live. That we're live on YouTube.
There you go.
That's the first. No, it hasn't come through yet. No, I don't see nothing. I see nothing. Nothing. I did it, and it says adult content. Do you wish to proceed? Richard
Really? Yeah.
You did the wrong one then. It's a trap, Richard. Don't do it. It's not adult content. You'll be sucked in. We'll lose you the rest of the night if you start watching that stuff.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
You'll be taking a break from all of us. Stay away. Nothing came through. You sure you sent it to the right place?
Okay, I sent it to.
Gold Fever Radio at yahoo.com.
I sent it to Gold Prospectors Radio at
Oh,
Gmail.
no, yeah, not that one. Yeah. Send it to Gold Fever Radio at Yahoo.
Okay.
I'd have to go on my phone to get that one. Mike, those are some huge rocks you're cleaning out.
Did you find it?
No. Did you send it to me now?
Missing the subject. I'm sending it anyway.
Yeah, we don't need it. We don't need no stinking subject.
We don't need no stinking subject.
There it is right there. Got it. Okay. All right. Let me click there.
You can see
There
the power of the golden sand.
Okay, so what I'm going to do now, let me go here, copy. Let me go back over to here. And let me go down to, let's see, to download this video. Probably get so much stuff going on right there. Add to the queue. Okay, download that and download the video. Okay. Let's let that video download, see how long it takes to download, but there it is there. Okay, I got it here. Okay, come back over here. Okay, it's downloading. I was going to say, if sometimes I can put it up on the screen and show it.
Okay.
If it's not too long, I don't know what my time is and all that, but I'll see what it will do.
It's a 2-minute and 32-second video.
Yeah, I don't know how much they let me. Let's see what they let me do here. It's 35% downloaded. I have a very small download window to download.
Yeah, but we still love you.
Oh, that's very nice. That thing is. Well, I guess Daniel watched it. He said that thing is really quick. If someone who is already watching could repost the link, that would be good. Mark says. SDI prospecting, the golden sand system is awesome. I've seen it a few videos about them. Okay. No, he means the golden sand, LOL. Better than rock and chisel.
Yeah, I mean, if you've got gold that's already loosened up and you just can't reach it, then suck it up, Buttercup.
Suck it up, suck it up. All right, so let me see. Okay, so that downloaded. Let me see if I can pull that into.
Well, while you're screwing around with that, I'm going to tell you about the three-legged chicken we saw in California.
Okay, please tell us that.
Well, we were heading back to a claim, and we was on some old country roads and everything, and I looked down out the window, and there's like, oh, holy crap, there's a three-legged chicken keeping up, and I looked, and we're doing like 30 miles an hour. So he's like, it's like, just going away, and I said, well, I don't want to run him over, so I just sped up. So I'm up to doing about 45 miles an hour, and there's a damn chicken just running and keeping up. It's like, oh my God. So I sped up to about 60, and I'm about ready to wipe out because it's just a bad road. And there's that chicken there just running away. And I swear that chicken looked up at me, gave me a big old wink, and took off running. Just left me in the dust. And so I saw where the dust cloud went into a farmer's yard. So I went into the farmer's yard and stopped and talked to the farmer. And I said, hey, do you know you got three-legged chickens here? He goes, yep, that's the way I raise them. I said, well, that's interesting. I was like, why? And he goes, well, you know, it's just me and my daughter and my wife, and we all like a drumstick. This way we only got to knock one chicken on the head. I said, that's ingenious. I said, how do they taste? And he goes, well, I don't know. I've never been able to catch one. Ah.
Yeah. I had a friend one time that his dog had 3 legs, and somebody asked him how come he has 3 legs, and he says, "Well, a dog that good, you don't want to eat it all at once."
All right, we won't say nationalities or anything.
Okay, here, let's see. Should I play this video? See if it'll play here. Okay.
Yeah, give it a shot.
Okay, here you go, folks.
I found this little void in the rock, and then went down inside there and give it a chance to. There we go. We took this scoop by hand of the sand that was trapped in there, and we're going to let the bucket. We're going to let the bucket overflow and go right back into the hole, and we'll keep working until that hole is completely clean. We've got the water set up there. We've got that material. You see how it overflows and right back into where we're working. And then I'm going to take all the rest of that stuff. I'm going to splash that material. I'm going to take and clean off this moss. Everything that's got gold stuck in it is going to go in the bottom of that hole. I'm going to suck it right up, get it in that bucket. Okay, now we're going to empty out the hole, get the last little bit. Now you can see down in there, we got a nice clean area. There's no way you could have done that just by getting your hands in there. Okay, that's pretty good. Now when I clean this out by hand, there's some sand in there. I got about 5 pieces. We're going to see what we get by using the golden sand. Yeah, I couldn't believe that I actually had all of that dirt left in the bottom. I picked it out with my fingers and did the best I could to empty that bottom out, but that was the stuff I missed. Jeez, that's crazy. Well, that's what we ended up with, and that is all the stuff that we missed by hand. If we're just trying to clean that out just by scooping and grabbing, the golden sand pulled off the rest of that stuff off the bottom, and that's the good stuff. Go get you some. Well, anyway, it's a little jumpy, but you can see what I was talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. So Paul says, do you have a link for the purchase the golden sand at?
Yes, it's gold-n-sand.com. I'm sure Cash will put it in there for you. But yeah, gold-n-sand.com. And I don't know if we'll make it for Christmas, though. I have to send a sled for it. Now, let's see here. gold-n-sand.com. Let's see if that'll go. Do you see it?
No. Cash said, I tried.
Yeah.
What'd you try? What is it? What's the website?
Gold-n-sand.
Gold-n-sand.com.
And then .com.
There, I can post. If you guys can't, I can. How's that?
All right. Hey, how about that? Yeah, I guess the filters and crap in there don't want anybody giving anybody any links or anything like that, but who knows?
Well, sometimes these hot girls will get on there and they give you their sexy emails, and so you can go get in. So maybe I change that where people can't do that, because they'll like take over your thing, and all of a sudden you get like 20 of these. Check it out, hot dating or something. I got to delete.
Right,
delete,
right.
delete.
Yeah, they want your nuggets.
Yeah. Gold nuggets. Please tell us about the Golden Sand Sluice header box.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the header box basically just slides down on the end of a sluice box. So you set your sluice box up in the water flow, and once the water's flown and you like your sluice box set the way it is, then you just slide the header box on there. We call it a boomer box, and it hooks right up to the pump. So if you're working an area, you can just pump it right into the sluice box. So you don't have to worry about dumping a bucket. It'll process right there in your sluice box as you're working.
Can you make them dry so they will work dry instead of wet?
No.
Well, that's too bad, huh?
Now, you could probably no. There'd be way too many problems. You might be able to pump it fast enough to make something work, but no.
No. Well, once your bucket filled up, how do you get rid of all the other stuff?
Yeah, well, just dump your gold out and start over.
Yeah, yeah. That's too bad. Something like that wouldn't work.
Yeah.
Faster than I can get them made almost. He sells them. Oh, cool. Okay, so you posted, so tell us your website, Mike, so people can go in and get some Christmas presents to give to everybody, or if they've got, your significant other, just leave some stuff around there for little hints where to go to pick stuff up at.
Yeah, goldcube.net. Yeah, goldcube.net, and the 800 number is 800-649-0256.
Cool.
There's a shameless plug.
Hey, all right. Well, you know what? We can, I think, wrap things up here. God,
Yeah.
we've been going on for almost 2 hours. Wow.
Hey, when it's fun, it's fun.
I know. Hey, you know what? But anyways, okay, that's cool. So I did that. A vac pack works good. Yeah, that's what I guess that golden sand is the vac.
My understanding is the vac pack company is for sale.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, so many people knocked them off now.
Well, yeah, but still, the vac pack company, they've got a bunch of supplies and everything. I mean,
yeah.
But anyway, the company's for sale. If you know anybody interested in making backpacks.
Is that your next venture?
No.
I used to make them once upon a time.
Yeah.
years and years ago.
I've made one too. I started out as a garage monkey, and it turned into a gold cube. So now I'm a manufacturer.
Yeah. I used to. Remember old Randy with a Gold Duster?
Uh-huh.
His design that he made, I really liked, because like most of them, they put screws into the housing of your motor to attach that onto the lid. Well, right. You kind of lose your warranty if anything happens once you put screws in there. But
right.
What he did is he used the downshoot tube from the leaf blower part of it. And he would put that in a toilet flange on your 5-gallon bucket. So, that was an ingenious idea, and I love that idea.
That's not a crappy idea.
No, so that's how I was making them, because that was a selling feature. You don't ruin your warranty.
Right. Well, that's cool. Yeah, there's a lot of really inventive people out there. Us miners, we're quite the group.
And we're not talking about people that are under 12 either. So
no, ER, not OR.
Yeah, that's what I say. When like the other one is Miners Creek, so when I say miners, M-I-N-O-R? No, E-R. Oh, like a gold miner?
Right.
Yeah. All right. Has anybody
So-
got any last minute questions before we wrap things up here? Go now, Sever, hold your peace. Good
Yeah.
show. This show has gone to pot. Only if Eastern Outdoor Expeditions TV, Santa. Yes, it's Santa. Now you tune in there. Now you're here. Yeah, now where you been all night? You know, like
yeah. Hey, Tim. Yeah.
Yes, we're all talking the Axiom this weekend. Yep. All right. Merry Christmas to you all. Okay, let me get my ending video here. All right, guys. We want to appreciate you
Goodbye,
guys hanging
everybody.
with us, taking your time, inviting us in, and putting up with all of our nonsense. Mike, wish you a very Merry Christmas to you and yours.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Make sure you put cookies under the tree for me when I get there, or else I'm taking your nuggets.
And all your presents.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for the giveaways, Mike, Cash. Thanks for the giveaways. You guys all be safe. Have a very Merry Christmas. And until our paths cross again, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see y'all later. Bye.
Merry Christmas.